This is an actual story from a real person. I'm just helping him tell it. So without further ado, here is the story of how I survived being bombed in Afghanistan. On August 26, 2021, the skies above Kabul were clear and the sun shone brightly, promising a beautiful Afghan day. I was 14 years old and living in a small house in the Buggy Balk neighborhood with my mom, dad, older brother and 5 sisters. Life under the Taliban was hard, but it was our normal. It never crossed my mind that that day would be the last day of my life. My dad woke up early and after saying his morning prayers, he told me to get up because he wanted to take me to the market with him. I didn't want to go. It was Saturday, and I really wanted to play soccer with my friends. But I also knew how much my dad liked taking me with him to the market. He was so proud that I was getting older and becoming a man. Plus, he needed someone to carry all the stuff he bought to sell again. So, I got up, put on my best clothes, shoes and a hat, and went downstairs. Mom had made some bread and cheese for breakfast. I ate quickly, trying not to make a mess, because I knew she spent hours making it. After I finished, I went outside. Dad was already waiting with his backpack. He gave me a piece of candy and smiled. "Eat this slowly," he said. "It will make your mouth happy." We started walking to the market together. The walk itself was fun. We joked around and walked past many street vendors selling delicious food. At one point, I asked Dad if we could stop and buy some fried bread and spicy kebab. He agreed, and while we ate, we talked about the war. I was too young to really understand what was going on, but Dad explained everything to me. He said he had a friend who worked in a shop near the airport. Dad believed this friend could help us leave Afghanistan. I remember him wrapping his arm around my shoulder and looking at me straight in the eyes. "When we are out of here," he said, "you can become anything you want to be. A doctor, a teacher, or maybe even a soccer player." I smiled. If he believed in me, I believed in myself. Afterward, we continued to the market. It was crowded, as usual, but that didn't bother me. I loved exploring the stalls, watching merchants hawk their wares, and listening to the chatter of the people. Suddenly, I heard a noise like thunder, but much louder. The ground shook beneath my feet. People screamed and ran in all directions. I don't know why, but I froze. 1 second everything was fine, and the next everything was chaos. When I turned to Dad, I saw fear on his face. He reached out for me, and I felt him grab my hand and pull me close. Then everything went black. The next thing I remember is waking up in a hospital bed. The room was white and there were machines everywhere. I tried to move, but an intense pain shot through my body. As I looked down, I saw bandages covering my arms and legs. I tried to sit up again, but a nurse came over and stopped me. "Don't move," she said in Pashto. "You have been in an accident and need to rest." She gave me water and helped me drink it. Then I closed my eyes again. The pain was unbearable. When I opened my eyes again, my dad was standing next to my bed, holding my mom's hand. They both looked exhausted and scared. I tried to speak, but my throat was hoarse. "Are we alone?" I asked them. Mom sat down on the edge of my bed. "No, you're not alone," she said, stroking my hair. "But why? Why did this happen?" Dad sat down next to her and took my other hand. "I don't know, my love," he replied. "But you're okay now. You're with us." I wanted to ask more questions, but the pain was back and knocked me out again. This time, I dreamed of a huge explosion, a cloud of smoke and screams. I was in the market with Dad, but he wasn't holding my hand anymore. Instead, I was holding his hand. I wanted to run after him, but I couldn't move, and then I saw him lying on the ground. He was bleeding. I don't remember if I screamed, but I woke up in a panic, feeling my mom and Dad's hands in mine. "You were having a nightmare," Mom said. "You kept calling out Dad's name." I looked from her to Dad and back. It hit me. I hadn't heard Dad say a word the entire time I was in the hospital. I looked down and realized that he had fallen asleep holding my hand. I felt a surge of gratitude for him. Dad never complained. He never got angry. He never stopped loving me, even when he was afraid. A few days later, we were able to go home, but it wasn't the same. Our house was destroyed. The roof had collapsed and there were holes in the walls. Also, Dad didn't seem to be the same anymore. He was sad and quiet. He spent most of his time sitting on a blanket outside our tent, staring into space. I was worried about him, but I didn't know what to do. One day, my brother decided to take matters into his own hands. He took Dad aside and told him, "If you don't try to be happy, you will actually become unhappy." Dad laughed and hugged my brother. "You are right," he said. "I shouldn't let my sadness affect you and your sisters." From that day on, Dad was more present. He still wasn't his old self, but he tried. He played soccer with me and told me stories of when he was a boy. Sadly, we never did escape Afghanistan. The plan fell through. Still, Dad was right. I was able to become anything I wanted. I became a soccer player. After the Taliban returned to power, I was too scared to leave the house. My whole world had turned upside down. But one day, my uncle convinced me to come with him to a soccer field. I joined a team of refugee kids and started playing again. It felt good to kick a ball again. On the inside, though, I was still very scared. I kept replaying the bombing in my head over and over again. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I called our friend who ran the shop near the airport. "How is it possible that you weren't hurt at all?" I asked. "I thought you were going to help us leave Afghanistan." "We did everything we could," he replied, "but it was impossible to get you out. There was fighting everywhere." "So, why didn't you warn us?" I yelled at him. "Why didn't you tell us to leave Afghanistan?" "We did," he said. "But you didn't listen. I am sorry, though. I am sorry that this happened to you." He hung up and left me with more questions than answers. To this day, I still wonder why we didn't leave Afghanistan. Maybe it was fate that I would get bombed, or maybe it was fate that I survived. I'll never know. The only thing I know is that I don't want to waste my life. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please like and share it with your friends. Also, check out my social media for more updates. Thank you again for everything. Love you guys. See you soon.